Welcome to today's chair yoga class. I'm Coach Lindsay. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a very relaxing but yet mobilizing yoga routine today in our chair. So we're obviously going to need a chair. No wheels on that chair if you can help it, nice and sturdy. Make sure you have plenty of space around you, no armrest as well on that chair. We're going to be able to kind of move about in our chair a little bit today, so we're going to need lots of space. That's the only piece of equipment you need. You can do today's class with or without shoes. I know yoga, I like to do without shoes, just some socks on, because it's nice to be able to kind of really mobilize the feet, really settle into a lot of the poses. So you choose what's best for you, go ahead and get set up, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. First things first, we talk a little bit about chair form in every single class. So just to reiterate, whenever we're in the chair, we wanna make sure that we are seated nice and tall, scooted a couple inches forward from the back of that chair, and our feet sit nice and flat on the ground. So we have a good 90-degree angle with those knees. We wanna make sure that we're not seated too far back to where we're having to stretch to place that foot on the ground. So nice and comfortable on the ground. Go ahead and sit nice and tall, roll those shoulders back away from the ears. We wanna kind of tuck the pelvis under very slightly so we have a little bit of core engagement to help keep us upright, but be mindful of that lower back. So let's go ahead and spread those toes nice and wide, kind of dig them into the ground a little bit. And we're gonna start off with some box breathing just to calm ourselves a little bit and kind of settle into the yoga routine here. So box breathing is a 4-count inhale, a 4-count hold, a 4-count exhale, and then a 4-count hold. We're gonna do it twice. I will count you down the first time, and the second time we're just gonna do it with silence so we can listen to the music and really relax. So let's go ahead and get started. Place your hands on top of your legs, and we're gonna go ahead and inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do one more on your own, and let's go ahead and begin. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Excellent job. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our first pose, which is a seated cat-cow. So making sure your feet are nice and flat on the ground. We're gonna start by rounding our shoulders and sliding those hands down the top of our legs a little bit below our knees. So our fingertips are sitting below our knees, our shoulders are rounded, and our belly button is sucked in towards the spine, okay? So deep inhale here. And then exhale, we're gonna go ahead and bring those hands back, and we're gonna arch the back, okay? So from a seated view, just so you can see what the back is doing here, we're gonna go ahead and start with that inhale, gliding those hands down, rounding the shoulders, sucking the belly button in. And then we're gonna exhale, arch the back, open up the chest, chin goes up, and hold. Nice job. Back into that rounding of the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Arch that back, chin goes up. Excellent. One more. I'm just going to turn my chair now that you get the gist. One last cat-cow here. Inhale. And then exhale, arch. And relax. Excellent. Roll those shoulders back away from the ears. Now we're going to get into a side bend. So today, I forgot to mention, today's class is more focused on the trunk, so the core, the back, a little bit of our hips and legs as well. So we're going to take our left hand, we're going to place that on the outer part of our right leg. Now we're going to take our right hand and we're going to reach over, okay? So kind of giving yourself a little bit of structure and stability by hanging onto that right leg, and then we're just going to lean over. So with this, we're going to keep the chest nice and open. We don't want to huddle down where our chest is pointed to the ground. So our chest should be nice and open, reaching, feeling that nice stretch in the core. Deep breaths here. And go ahead and come back up, arm comes down. Same thing on the other side, roll the shoulders out. Right hand, outer part of the left leg, left arm comes up, and we reach. Keep that chest nice and open, back stays straight, for the most part. Obviously we're bending, but we aren't arching the back. We are keeping that back nice and straight here. Deep breaths. And we come back up. One more on each side. Roll those shoulders back away from the ears. Left hand, right leg, and we reach. Excellent. Deep inhale here. As we exhale, we want to try to reach a little bit deeper into that stretch. Keep those feet on the ground and your butt in your seat. And come back up. Excellent. Same thing on the other side. Reach. Deep inhale here. As we exhale, sit into that stretch a little bit further here. Deep breaths. And come back up. Excellent. Arm comes back down. Roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Now getting into a little bit of side twisting here. So take those legs a little wider than hip distance apart. We're going to bring the arms in towards our chest. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate. So we're going to bring left elbow first in between our legs here. So as we twist, and then what we're going to do is we're going to open up those arms, okay? So one arm goes up, one arm goes down. We don't have to touch the ground here. If you can't, it's okay. Just make sure you're in this motion here. And then we're just going to look up towards our hand. So feeling that nice twist in the back here. Pick your range of motion here. Be very mindful of how your back is feeling. Deep breaths. Excellent. Bringing those arms back to center before we twist up. So arms come back, then we rotate. Roll the shoulders back. Same thing on the other side. So keeping those arms in. Right elbow goes in between the legs first. Then we open up those arms. And then we look up towards the sky here. Deep breath. Bring those arms back to center. And then twist back up. Excellent. Sit nice and tall. Roll those shoulders back. We're going to do one more on each side here. So this time, sit a little bit deeper into that stretch. Open up those legs a little wider. So same thing, left elbow in between the legs. And then open up those arms. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Reach for the sky here. Deep breath. Bring those arms back to center. And we twist back up. Excellent. Roll those shoulders back. One last time here on this right side. Once you're in that twist, we open up the arms. And deep breaths here. Excellent. Bringing those arms back to center, and we twist back up. Beautiful. Roll those shoulders back away from the ears. A little bit of intermission here before we get into some of our lower body and hip exercises now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take one of our legs, either one. I'm going to start with my left, and we're going to come and with it out right in front of us, heel on the ground. What we're going to do is we're going to flex and point the toe, a little bit of activation of the lower body muscles and the ankle, okay? So first, you can place your hands on your legs or on your hips. You can also grab onto the base of your chair if you choose. And we're just going to point the toe and then flex. So back and forth. You can pause, either one that feels the best for you here. Deep breaths, stay nice and tall in that chair. Squeeze the calf muscle and then stretch out that calf muscle, placing that heel on the ground. Two more rotations on this leg. draw that leg back into center. Excellent. Shake those legs out. Readjust in that chair. Roll those shoulders back. Same thing on the other side. Draw that leg out. We kind of lose my leg in the frame there. There we go. Heel on the ground. Flex the toe. And then point. Excellent. Squeeze that lower body. You'll feel the muscle tense. And then relax. Keep your breath going, deep breaths in and out here throughout. Two more. Last one. And bring that leg back in. Excellent. Now we're going to move into a figure four, a little bit different this time than our traditional figure four. So left ankle goes on top of the right knee, making sure that right knee has a 90-degree angle. Very, very important. Right foot is flat on the ground. Once we're in this figure four position, we're going to take our hands. Right hand goes on the outside of our leg. Left hand goes in between, and then we bring our hands together up underneath of that right leg, if you can, okay? So try it out. If you cannot, you can just place your hands on top of that leg, okay? But go ahead and place those hands in between, grab around that right leg, and just lean. Let your upper body relax. Let that hip stretch. Do what it needs to do. Settle into the stretch. Deep breath here. Excellent. Go ahead and come back up to center. Slowly release that left leg off of that right leg. Roll the shoulders back once again, and then same thing on the other side. So right ankle sits on top of the left knee. That left leg has a 90-degree angle. Spread those toes on the left leg so that you're nice and flat on the ground. Then we go ahead and take those hands, one on the outside, one in the middle, and interlock those hands underneath of that leg, okay? So from a side view, we should be looking like this. Once you're here, let that upper body relax. Deep breath here. Nice stretch of the outer hip here. Coming back to center, slowly rise up, roll the shoulders back, and release that right leg. Excellent. Couple more poses here before we end with some folds. We have what we call reverse happy baby. So if some of you know what a happy baby is, we lay on our backs, we grab our toes like a baby does. This time we're gonna do it seated, but reverse. So feet are gonna be nice and flat on the ground here, a little bit wider than hip distance apart. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lower down and we're gonna try to place our fingertips up under our feet. Now, if you can't go down that far with your hips, you can place your hands on top of your feet or on your shins, okay? So what this is gonna look like is as we come down, we wanna open up the hips, place those fingertips up under our feet, and then sit into this position here. So nice straight back, opening up the hips here. Again, you can have those hands on top of your feet or on your shins if your range of motion does not allow. But once you're in this, settle in. Your sit bones are still, well, more like your hamstrings are sitting on the chair here. Deep breaths. One big inhale here, and then as we exhale, we're gonna slowly rise back up from that happy baby. Back to seated. Excellent, roll those shoulders back. Last few poses here. We're gonna start with the warrior pose. So left leg goes out in front. Right leg, we're gonna rotate the hips and go into kind of a lunge position. So that right foot is gonna slide backwards. Get it as straight as possible. It's not gonna be straight all the way, that's okay. Front leg, 90-degree angle or close to. Nice stretch in the hip flexor, and then we bring those arms out. So sit nice and tall here. On the chair, your left sit bone, your left butt is on the chair, your right is not. So kind of angle your hips enough to where you're kind of toggled off of the edge of that chair, but you still have good support from that chair, okay? So play around with that motion if you need to a little bit. Once you're in a good warrior lunge here, open up the arms, nice straight back here, deep breath. Inhale and exhale. One more, inhale. And as we exhale, we're gonna rotate back and reach, okay? So right hand comes on the back of the leg, left hand reaches over, kind of like our side bend, but more backwards than over to the side. So it feels a little awkward at first, but nice stretch in the back there. Hang on to this for a few more seconds, deep breath. And then bring those arms back to warrior. Excellent, arms come inward. We rotate those hips. Same thing on the other side, okay? So right leg, 90-degree angle. Left leg, we scoot that foot back. I like to slide it on my carpet, makes it easier. And once you're in that position, 90-degree angle here, right sit bone on the chair, left sit bone is off of the chair, into your warrior arms. Nice straight back. Hips are nice and square, okay? So our body is facing the same direction as our hips. That's what that means. Deep breath. Excellent. Inhale and exhale, rotate back. So left hand comes on the left leg hamstring and arm reaches back. Excellent. Deep breath here. And rotate back up. Warrior arms, deep breath. Bring those arms back to center, rotate the hips, nice and square, bring those legs in. Adjust a little bit on that chair if you need to, roll the shoulders back. We're gonna end with a few forward folds here. So we're gonna take a big inhale, bring those arms up nice and tall, stretch and reach for the sky. And then we're gonna forward fold in between our legs, similar to happy baby here, but you can just dangle. You don't have to reach for the toes. Unless you want to, you certainly can. I like to just let myself dangle and hang a little bit. And we're gonna take an inhale here, and as we exhale, we're gonna go ahead and roll the back up. So keep the shoulders nice and rounded. Your spine is just rolling up. Back to seated. Excellent. One last and final forward fold. Inhale. Reach. And then as we come down, nice and slow. Go ahead and inhale, and when you're ready, as you exhale, roll that spine back up. Nice and slow. Back to center. Roll those shoulders out. Let's bring those arms up one last time. Bring those hands in together. Deep breath. Excellent job, Mighty Family. Thank you so much for joining me for today's chair yoga. I'll see you all on Thursday. Have an amazing rest of your week.